Flagrant have confirmed the worst kept secret in podcasting. Akaash Singh is no more on Flagrant podcast. Akaash Singh has quit Flagrant podcast to focus entirely on his stand-up comedy career. Now, most of us knew this. Some people like myself had the slim hope that they were doing this whole Akaash not being on the show to kind of let the fucking hate die down a bit because of all the embarrassing things that his wife said and did online that cast a bad light on Akaash and made him look a certain way, and how embarrassing it all was and humiliating, blah 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 blah. Myself, I personally thought that they were doing a good thing for Akaash as friends, not really talking about it too much on the pod or at all. Not also having him on the show because it would kind of just drum up all that controversy again, and letting him just focus on his comedy. So they can focus on the pod, he can focus on his com, and then once everything dies down, he comes back. But for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of Justine. I don't know if it's because people hated Akaash. I don't know if it's because people loved Akaash. But for whatever fucking reason, this die down thing hasn't worked. People are still talking about this. It's still a hot button topic. It's still causing debate, controversy. It's still a thing. I don't know why in particular this particular story hasn't died down, but it hasn't died down. Why hasn't it died down, I say? The moment Akaash Singh popped up again on a podcast, when he went on fucking Hot 97, the whole thing started again. Yeah, I know he spoke about it, but the whole fucking drama and the conversation around him and his wife and how she embarrassed him and humiliated him all started again. So for whatever reason, this particular topic just won't die. So I think it might be for the best that Akaash left. It's probably for the best that Akaash said, you know what? I'm going out because this ain't good for my mental health. Because every time he appears on this show, even his co-hosts, right? Not even us, the audience. I feel like his co-hosts are walking on eggshells. Because they know what the fucking elephant in the room is. They know what the fucking story is people want to talk about. They can't really make jokes about it either. Because it clearly hurts Akaash's feelings. You could tell. Which I understand too. I get he's a comedian, but this whole thing hits quite close to home when people on the internet are calling your fucking wife a whore, right? It's going to hit close to home when people on the internet are saying they hate your wife. It's going to hit close to home when people on the internet are saying that you should divorce her, all this stuff. It's going to be a bit much to take. So he can't go on the show because he can't get ripped by his fucking co-hosts because it's going to hurt. He can't go on the show because it's going to make everyone start talking about the whole thing again. The comments are going to be on him. So I think it's for the best. It's probably for the best that he leaves. Now, the sad thing about it, if you're a Flagrant fan, no goodbye, no final episode, no nothing. Which I think is a kind of a bit of a spit in the face to the fans. You know, if you're a fan of Flagrant, you should feel a little bit perturbed and a bit annoyed because they never explained what was going on. I think they owe that to the fans. They never explained why Akaash took so long off the pod. They kept saying he was on tour, which was a lie. Right? Obviously he was on tour, but he obviously didn't want to go on the show. They left you guys in the lurch. They didn't update you at all. They're out the blue to say, hey, he's off the show now. No explanation from him. No proper goodbye episode. No goodbye thank you fucking video from Akaash himself. Just completely ran away. Like in shame or whatever it is. Which I think is odd because really and truly, if we're being honest, Akaash did nothing wrong. Really and truly. Akaash did nothing wrong if you're thinking about it. He defended his wife against the indefensible. We get it, but that's his wife at the end of the day. Of course he's gonna defend her. That's his love of his life. That's the mother of his children to be, or whatever, the mother of his children coming up and shit, right? So of course he's gonna defend her. The person who's most to blame is fucking Justine. But she's also a little bit delulu and a bit all over the place. So there's no even point even trying to talk to her because she's never gonna fucking get it. But I don't even think Akaash deserves all the fucking pouters. Yes, I know he was on the pod and he spoke bad about other people in their relationship. Then when it comes to his, he tucked tail and ran. I get it. But still, it's his relationship. It's his fucking marriage. I understand why he felt that way. So this whole thing is kind of a bit long-winded and whatever. All to say, I think Akaash made the right decision quitting. It would have been better if he did a proper sign-off and did a goodbye episode. He deserved that, given everything he done for the show. Because they started this show from the fucking gut. I remember when they were doing this show in was it the Breakfast Club studio? Or some radio studio, right? When it was like 5 of them and stuff, and that Kaz guy was on there. So they got this out of the mud. I'm pretty sure they started the Patreon because of Akaash. Akaash was struggling financially. Schultz wanted to help him out because he wasn't selling as many tickets. So they started a Patreon that could give Akaash some extra money, and they kind of started blowing up that way. So yeah, it really, the pod really helped. They obviously, Akaash did a lot for the pod did a lot for him. but the fans also kind of warmed to him. Yeah, I know the fucking leg slapping shit was annoying, but you know, the best duo at the time was fucking Akaash and Schultz. They kind of bounced off each other really well. They seemed like they were really close. So I felt like they deserved a good sign-off to be like, you know what? It's sad how it ended, but let's end it on a high, give the fans a good, funny show at the end, and then kind of keep it moving. Without saying goodbye, it's a bit shitty. It's a bit shitty not saying goodbye, but I get it. Anyway, let's play the clip of Schultzy talking about it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant. Schultzy here, Alex Media, Marky Gagnon. Miles is back there. Yes, and we're on the West Coast. Thank you, Alex Media, for hosting us in WTF Media Los Angeles studios. Beautiful, lovely.
Nice.
Don't you guys dare say you like this better. Okay? You spent way too much money on that podcast studio in New York City. But come check out the podcast here if you guys are in town. Now, we got to address the elephant in the room, no pun intended, okay? As I'm sure you guys are aware, our boy Akaash, he really went through it earlier this year, showed amazing resilience and, you know, selling out Radio City recently, setting records in Toronto.
Again, he went through a lot because of his wife, not the internet. Let's keep that stack. Yeah, I know it was fucking Myron, but big up Myron for Fresh and Fit. Myron Fresh and Fit must be fucking dancing. He must be taking a victory lap. Myron must be laughing uncontrollably right now. Myron must be laughing uncontrollably right now. Because Akaash and Myron had beef because of the episode that Fresh and Fit when they went on Flagrant. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, maybe it was a projecting, but Akaash was really on them super hard. Like, I get their dorks, I get their bozos, right? Myron and fucking the other guy. I get their bozos, but the way he was going at them was a little bit. So now I'm wondering, was it all projection? Because of what he was going through at home. Maybe it's projection, isn't it? Because he sees how they talk to women, and he knows he can't get away with it at home in his own house, so he starts projecting and being like overly white knighty. But whatever. They had a little bit of a tete-a-tete, right? They had a little bit of a tete-a-tete, and it seemed like Akaash got the better of them. But then, when of course Myron found all these clips of Justine, because I think Myron was the one that started the fucking hate train against Justine, because he actually shared the clips of her on pods talking mad spicy and whatever else about her, you know, past sexual relationships. It kind of started the whole tsunami of everyone fucking dissecting what they're about. So Myron now must be laughing his fucking head off because he got the last laugh. Yes, he lost a little battle on the show, but he won the fucking war. Now you got fucking Akaash to quit his fucking podcast and not even do a fucking farewell episode.
Crushing stand-up around the globe and literally just like living the dreams that he would tell me about at 2 a.m. when we're eating fucking egg sandwiches at Veselka. So it's been amazing to see, but the experience has put things in perspective for him. And he has made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up. He is going to be stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet.
That again doesn't make any sense. As a popping successful stand-up comedian, it's different if you already got your stand-up comedy stuff popping. If you're already popping stand-up comedian, you don't need a podcast. But if you started on the pod and your stand-up is now popping, you should keep doing your fucking pod. You shouldn't pull back because your stand-up is popping now. Because there might come a time where your ticket sales dip. Akaash is banking on the idea that this ascendancy that he's on, well done to him, by the way, sold out Radio City Music Hall, fucking brilliant. He's on a real massive, great ascend, but there's going to come a point where it kind of levels off, where it kind of dips. And that's why you need the podcast and podcast appearances to kind of keep that shit ticking over. Not doing any of that stuff at all is going to be a real big detriment to him in the long run. Hope it's not the case, but I think it's a real full-hearted decision not to do it. Now, that could always be the case that he may go and do his own show, his own solo show, which I don't think would work personally. I think he works best in a group setting, right? Be able to bounce off your people. But he does need some sort of outlet to keep that kind of like content thing going that can then draw eyes, market himself, and then obviously get ticket sales. Not having anything at all and banking on the idea that because I saw that Radio City Music Hall, I'm only going to go up is kind of naive and foolhardy.
You know, we wish that he did not want to do that, but at the same time, you know, it's very hard not to root for your friend, you know, literally living his dreams. And if he feels he's got to give everything to that, then that's exactly what he's got to do. And we're going to rock with him. We hope you guys continue to rock with him. Go check out the show. We saw the show Radio City. It's phenomenal.
That doesn't make no sense, by the way. It was probably harder to do what he did in the beginning. It was probably harder to grind and do the pod at the same time. Now that he's somewhat established, he should be in autopilot. Yeah, it's still hard, but it's not going to be as hard as it was when you're grinding. When you're on the come up, is way harder than the fucking maintaining of it. I personally think so. The come up of crossing over to a point where your fucking pod and whatever starts paying your bills and starts providing you with a life that you've always dreamed of. That's hard to get to that level. Once you get to that level, just keeping it is easy. Maintaining it. Look at fucking Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan hasn't been good for fucking nearly a decade afterward. You know what I mean? But he's richer than anybody. Why? Because you get to that point where you fucking cross up 100 million is really hard. But once you get there, you're fine. So I think it's a real big mistake to walk away from the pod now as your success in stand-up is going up. You should just keep continuing doing it just for the sake of your fucking stand-up comedy. Just for the sake of your stand-up, because there's no guarantee that these ticket sales are going to continue, because podcasting and all this shit is free. It's free. It's free for people to watch. Buying a ticket to go watch someone do stand-up, that costs a lot more and it requires a lot more investment. So I don't know. I think this is a bad move from him.
You guys should absolutely go check it out. AkaashSingh.com for tickets. So we just wanted to, clear the air. Akaash hasn't been on the pod for a while. We thought it was time that we, talk to you guys about it.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? The really sad bit about it is that in a way, in terms of the harmony of the show, it's not going to make a difference. In a way. I feel like that Mark guy is really funny. And his own pod is really good. The Mark guy with the long hair, he's really good. He's really funny and really good. And I feel like he's actually funnier than Andrew Schultz. I'm not going to lie. I'd actually go as far as saying that. I actually think that Mark guy is funnier than Andrew Schultz. He probably has a way higher ceiling as a comedian too, in my personal opinion. He's way more likable. He has a way higher ceiling, that Mark guy. Alex, the black guy, I don't really think he's that necessary. I think he's mostly a producer. I don't really know why he's on camera. I'm not going to lie. I don't really get why he's even on camera. I feel like he's the only one that's not really necessary. But again, in terms of the harmony, because they're all friends, it works. Because this show, I think, mainly works because they're friends. Because they're friends, they kind of, bounce off each other really well. And their personalities kind of match. But I feel like regardless of Akaash not being there, it's not really going to hurt the harmony of the show. It's still going to be pretty decent for people that could like to watch it. But it's just a shame that Akaash, one of the people that helped to fucking help it grow, isn't going to be able to still be there, That's the real sad part about it. He's the one that helped it grow. He's the one that was there. And he's not going to be around to fucking enjoy the success of the show. Do you know what I mean? The success as it keeps going on. That's a real sad part about it. Like he helped the show grow from the fucking mud. And he's not going to be away. All because of his fucking annoying wife. Not because of any scandal he got involved in. Not because of any rape allegation, sexual assault, this, that, whatever. The only reason why he's not on the show is because his wife embarrassed him, humiliated him in public. That's really out of order, if you think about it. That's really not fucking fair. His wife humiliated him in public, and now he's suffering from the consequences. That, I think, is super unfair. But for the sake of his mental health, for the sake of his marriage, which he cares about, right? For better or worse, for the sake of his marriage and his mental health, it's probably for the best that he steps away. It's probably for the best.
Thoughts, boys?
It's bittersweet because this is my brother. I love him. I was here day one of this podcast, and it's like, all right, we were started together and together. Bad boys for life.
Yeah.
Some gay shit,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm proud of him. I'm just so fucking proud, like, being at Radio City and just seeing,
crazy.
Like, just everybody was animated, like they loved it. Like,
yeah,
I'm just proud of him. And I think back to when we surprised him when I came home from Sweden.
Oh yeah, his reaction was incredible.
His reaction, like he didn't even care.
Why act like he's dead? Why do you act like he's dead? And again, why is he dead to do this, man? This is so, like, again, fucking Justine, bro. Fucking Justine. Maybe also Akaash lacking a fucking spine, but fucking Justine fucking Singh. Why isn't he there enjoying this? Why isn't he there getting his flowers? Why isn't he there reminiscing with these boys and doing a fucking proper send-off? And why are they acting like he's fucking dead? Why act like he's dead? Yeah, maybe in their heads as friends he's dead. Maybe in their friends he's kind of dead in their head because they know him from behind the scenes and they don't like his wife. Because that's what I also think is the elephant in the room. I think the big elephant in the room is that none of Akaash's friends like his wife. I think that's the big elephant in the room, right? That's what I think. That's the other part of it that kind of makes it a bit tricky. None of his friends like his wife. So it's hard after your wife humiliates you in public. Everyone now knows about this shit. And now you have to go on the show with your friends who are comedians. They can't talk about it, but it's a big thing. And you also feel weird. So I get, like, it's more so like, like in a group of friends if somebody ends up stealing money. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? You know, like if you're at a house party and one of your friends steals something, like steals a camera, steals a phone, steals some money, steals a jacket or something, and you all find out. That friend can't really come around anymore, you know? Maybe you and him fall out, but they also feel embarrassed they also feel embarrassed coming out with your other friends because they know that all your friends know. So I think that's what happened there. I think it was okay when it was maybe between Akaash and Schultz, because I think my theory, again, I don't have any information. My theory is this. I feel like Akaash and Schultz always butt ahead of his wife. I feel like Akaash and Schultz were the main ones that butted heads over Akaash's wife. Schultz didn't like her, maybe told him not to marry her and shit. She's bad news, she's annoying, whatever. But Schultz is also kind of a bit of an annoying personality, right? I can get why Akaash would be like, you know what? I'm not listening to you. Because Schultz himself is kind of annoying, right? He's kind of hard to like. He's a little bit unlikable. If the Mark guy is very likable, Schultz is kind of the opposite. He's kind of, you know, you can see why someone would not like him. So maybe Akaash is like, you know what? I'm not going to listen to you. I know you don't like my wife, but you're also not the most trustworthy person when it comes to judging people's personality. Because you yourself are annoying, right? But when it got out in public, everybody got exposed to it. It made it weird. I think it was okay to work together when it was just him and Schultz had a problem with his wife. But when all of his friends, all of his co-hosts had problems, it made it hard to go back. I think so. That's my theory. I could be wrong, but I think so.
Cameras are there, jumped up, gave me the biggest fucking bear hug. I didn't know he was that strong.
Yeah, for those of you guys, maybe your newer listeners, Alex got locked up when we were on tour in Sweden, and we didn't tell Akaash that he got out.
Yeah.
And then there's an earlier episode where he just bursts in the room and Akaash sees him for the first time, thinking he was in jail the whole time, and Akaash just goes crazy, and it was just pure love. It was beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Why can't Akaash be here to fucking... That's a beautiful story. It's a bit of a cruel prank, but a fucking beautiful story. Why can't Akaash be there to reminisce on this? Give y'all a hug, have a little drink, toast to something, man. Thank you so much for everything he's given me. Thank you to the fans for the fucking support. I couldn't have been here without you guys. I'm taking the next step. Hopefully you guys can come along and join me. Maybe I'll pop back in from time to time. Maybe give them a little fucking carrot. Maybe I might pop back in from here and there for big shows. But I want to focus primarily on my fucking stand-up. And obviously I want to also start a family with Justine or whatever. Why isn't Akaash there, man? This is so lame. Honestly, that Justine woman, bro. Like, his wife is... Oh, that wife, man. Everybody out there, every man out there, whoever you pray to, whoever your God is... If you're single or if you're like in the process of finding somebody, pray to God that you don't end up with a wife like fucking Justine. Pray to God that you don't end up with a wife like Justine. Because in a way, she's kind of isolated him from his friends. In a weird, toxic way. In a roundabout way, she's kind of isolated him from his friends. Because now, I bet you Akaash feels more embarrassed being around his friends than she does. She's living her life and nothing's happened. But Akaash probably feels way more weird. He feels weird going outside, going with because he feels like everybody's thinking about Justine and how she said what she said. So she's made his life a little bit shit, to be honest. Yeah, he's got to stand up and he's killing it with the ticket sales, but socially, all the comedians say to you every single time, oh, the best thing about stand-up is the hang. The best thing about stand-up is the fucking hang. Akaash has no hang. So what? He's not hanging out with these guys on the podcast anymore. He's just going to do his fucking shows. Where's the fucking hang? Where's the community? Isn't this part of the reason why you do stand-up? For this sort of shit, where you get paid thousands of dollars to sit around and talk shit into a microphone about current topics. Come on, man. And plus, Akaash is a fucking talker. Akaash is not the one that's like a quiet wallflower. He always had a lot to say. Small man, but has a lot to fucking say. So all these topics going on in the media, he can't really talk about. Kind of crazy.
I love you, brother, but, you know, we'll see each other, so it's all good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We'll see each other. He's acting like he's going to say, I'll see you when I get up there, bro. Valhalla. I'll see you in Valhalla. I'll see you in Valhalla.
Yeah, it's cool to see all the venues he's selling out and everything that he's doing. I remember even like when I very first came to New York, riding in an Uber with him, and he was talking about this exact thing. You know, he's like,
they act like he's dead. Honestly, if you didn't know, you'd think this guy was dead. If you didn't know, you'd think this guy was fucking dead. I swear to God, you would. You'd think he was dead.
Like, yeah, man, like the pod's cooking, but like I want to be that guy. And then now he's doing all the stuff that he said.
Yeah.
And Yeah, it's just really exciting. Like as a comic, I think we can understand. It's like, yeah, dude, you have an opportunity. I mean, he's going to be an MSG like soon.
Go get
it.
You
know what I mean?
Go get it.
It's cool to see.
Yeah.
And I remember the very first clip of this pod I ever saw before I was even on it was Premium Pete.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that clip? It's back in Engine Room, and he's trying to describe the length of his penis. And he holds up a remote.
Yeah, he goes, somebody goes, you ever seen a TV remote? And then Akaash goes, you take the batteries out of that. Bro, I'll never forget, and the internet will never let me forget the moment of Akaash just walking me down a logic thread where about effort.
Oh, effort. Oh, yeah.
And like he just knows that I'm about to just eat my fucking own ass. And then it's just like
remember this era of the show. This was the era where they held it down. I think it was just during COVID. This era where it was just them two. If you're a flagrant head, you're gonna be kind of pissed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna read the comments in a minute. I'm gonna go through the fucking Reddit. But if you're a flagrant head, you're gonna be kind of pissed because this was the main part of the show. These two guys were in the background. They were the fucking co-hosts that were behind the cameras. The main show was Akaash and fucking Schultz in front of this, on that fucking setup down there. That's what held down the show for a long time. Now this guy just like disappears into the night, runs away. Like, do you know what I mean? He's hiding away. Doesn't give no goodbye, no nothing. All because of his fucking wife. God damn.
Ever. And then he gets up and does this like Indian dance in front of me.
He made me root for the Cowboys, you know? Never. Because now that he's not a Cowboys fan, it makes me happy to see the Cowboys win. You know what I mean? That's all it is.
Yeah, man. Just a lot of fucking memories. Yeah. But listen, go out and support Akaash, man. Go send him some messages. Show him some love, dude.
Yep.
He's the man. He's getting after it, and he's going to continue to crush it.
Yep.
So weird, so strange. But again, I blame the wife, man. Don't blame Akaash. I blame the wife. I think if you're in Akaash's position, you probably wouldn't want to go to a show every week either, because you know what they're all thinking. You don't want to be constantly reminded about your wife's embarrassing, humiliating fucking escapades online. You don't want it to be the fucking big fucking elephant in the room. You don't want the comments to keep consistently reminding you that you married the wrong person, that she's awful for you, that she hates you. All this stuff, right? It's just too much to handle. It's just too much to fucking handle. Also, you have no intention of leaving her, by the way. You love her to fucking bits. So you having to hear all this stuff, read all this stuff. It's just too much. So I get why he left. It's just a shame he couldn't say goodbye properly. It's a shame he couldn't say goodbye properly. And you know what's really funny? You know what's fucking really funny? There was this video I said to the other day about Justine taking credit. This fucking woman was taking credit for the Radio City musical. This one, up in this vlog here, right? Well, she was taking credit for the Radio City Music Hall. So I do find it funny how things have kind of panned out. She was almost taking credit for Akaash Singh selling out the Radio Music City Hall as if she did anything, right? If anything, she probably hurt his chance of selling out. And now a couple days later, he's quitting the show because of her. I do find that funny. Akaash Singh sells that Radio City Music Hall. She gets online and starts acting like she actually helped or she was contributing to it. And then he quits the show. I wonder what she's going to say now. But this is for a few days ago, right? The caption is, "Get ready with me while I recap my husband's Radio City music show."
Do a life update? I feel like let's do a life update. Like so much has gone down. My husband sold out Radio City, which was so fucking just cool and surreal. Like, who can say they've done that? Like, not that many people. And it's just crazy that, like, in a city that I feel like really broke me, like when I was working till 2 a.m. and then Ubering home and figuring out how
me
I could expense it, and then like trying to apply to other
me
jobs on the side. And now I'm like, wow, not only do I have to work
me
and I'm not saying that as like, oh, poo-poo you if you have to
me
work. I'm just saying for me, that's something I always
for me
dreamed of, because I never felt like the corporate environment really fit with my personality. But not only do I have to work, but my husband sold out Radio fucking City, sold out 6,000 seats. Like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's such a fucking dream come true. And thank you so much to everyone that fucking came through. I literally, like, I love you guys so much. I feel like we bent over backwards to sell tickets to this show, because also like 2 weeks before
we bent over backwards to sell tickets for the show. Bitch, what the fuck did you do? What's she talking about? I think she's on the phone. telesales, like running people down to buy tickets. What did you do for the show? God damn. We bent over backwards. What the fuck did you do? I'd love to know exactly what she actually did to contribute to the fucking sellout. I'd love to know.
For that, his Meta account was hacked into. Thank God we were able to get access to that. Thank you, Tyler Burns. You're everything to me for that. So yeah, dude, just like a really fucking awesome experience. I swear to God, it was like our second wedding. It's like all our friends and family came, like pretty much everyone that was at our wedding came to this, like knew what a big deal it was for Akaash, and just showed up and showed out. Still, like, I feel like right after it happened, like the whole day I almost felt numb. Like I was like, just like, I couldn't sleep all week. Like I was like, okay, like what do we need to get done? What's on the to-do list? But we have an amazing team now that was like helping us with everything. Amanda, Kiana, and Matt. And
if this is true, right? If this is true that she's an integral part of Akaash's like team in terms of his stand-up and his touring, it actually makes what she said on the pods even worse. So you knew what was on the line, if this is true. Because I thought she wasn't a part of the team. I thought she was doing all that fucking TMI, I put my pussy talk on the fucking pods because she was trying to make her own lane and do her own thing because she was bored at home. She was bored being at home just buying bags. She wanted to give herself a little bit of purpose, something to do in the morning, a reason to get up. So she started doing the pods, which started talking about all that shit. But if it is the case that she's always been a part of Akaash's team, in terms of like the production and the management and the logistics or whatever, that makes what she said on the pods even worse because you know what was on the line. You knew what you were risking by saying all that stuff. You knew how you could have a direct effect on fucking up his business, and you still went out and said what you said. I hope that's not the case.
And Danny and Kevin, it was just like, you know, like supporting Akaash, being there for him, coordinating family stuff, like coordinating where the friends are gonna go, after party, like fun stuff, but it was like stressful, and like also making sure that we sold out, and we sold out clean. It was so fucking cool. This was also the first time I had seen my husband's like full set, and he had been working on it, I guess, since last year, whenever he finished his last special. And it was just so beautiful because I didn't know that he was going to work in like some of the controversy and what happened to us. And I don't want to give too much away.
What happened to us? What you did to him, you mean? What happened to us? What you did to him, motherfucker? God almighty, this woman's fucking unbearable. Don't get me wrong. Akaash is not without fault. People do not like Akaash for his things as well. But all that stuff would have never happened if she never fucking opened her mouth about popping her pussy.
But I was just like bawling, crying at multiple points through the show, and
yeah, because you felt guilty probably. That was your fucking guilty conscience, isn't it? You could have nearly ruined that all. You looked out at the crowd. You saw the fucking sold out crowd of all these fucking Indian people, all these people from your school, from your family, all these other random fans. You saw them all fucking there pouring love onto Akaash, and you probably felt guilty that shit. I could have nearly fucked this all up. I could have fucking fucked this whole shit up. Look at all the fans he has. Look at all the love he has out there. Even though I'm super unlikable, look at what they did. They still came out for him. That's what you were crying about for.
Really fucking beautiful to make meaning out of something bad that's happened to you. Should we do a life update?
Anyway, that was that one, right? And then let's see what's Akaash post. Is Akaash post anything since the fucking announcement he quit the podcast? Nothing from him there. What's she saying? Anything? What's she post? Anything about Akaash? Oh no, it's just this. Cool. I told him he had to come to me to an Olaplex influencer event. So what's this event? What's this about? They did some celebration for him quitting the pod. They put together a celebration dinner for him quitting the pod. Is that it?
I did not see it coming. Thank you guys. I really did not see it coming. Thank y'all. Happy fucking birthday. Love you.
And as long as is that his birthday or something? Okay, and another kiss inside the face. Are we gonna get kiss on camera? Are we gonna get kiss on the lips? Let's see if we get kiss on the lips. Let's see if we get kiss on the lips. Another kiss on the side of the head. No kiss on the lips there. Cool. Is it his birthday or something? Is that what it is? Maybe it's his birthday. Another kiss inside the head. No lips. Ah, brilliant, brilliant. The humiliation never stops. Goes for the kiss. Gets the side of the head and the hair. Blows out his candles. Goes for a kiss again. Gets the side of the head again. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. That's what's being so fun about being married. You can't kiss your girlfriend or your wife on the lips. That's what everyone loves, right? When you unfollow me, can you please DM which post the last straw for you? Obviously, look, the day that he gets, Akaash announces via his friends on the show that he's quit the podcast, right? Akaash announces via his friends on the show, addressing Akaash Singh leaving and reminiscing on his favorite moments. And here she is on Instagram sharing you a Goyard bag, another Goyard bag. Akaash Singh is probably dealing with all these hate comments and whatever trolls online. Here she is, another bag that she wants. Great. Good to know. Good to know what's on her mind, isn't it? Oh, this lady. Guys, I found out that I love steak. Why did no one tell me about this? It's so good. I eat this with my hands. It's so juicy. I kind of like her. I'm not gonna lie. She's an agent of chaos. She's an agent of fucking chaos, man. Akaash had to quit a podcast that makes how much? Let me go on Flagrant podcast Patreon. How much they make? Like 100,000 on there? How much they fucking make on there? Like $1 million? Akaash had to quit a podcast that makes $62,000 a month. $62,000 a month. Not including sponsors, not including what they make from fucking YouTube AdSense, not including from memberships. They already make on fucking Patreon $62,000. And Akaash had to quit because of this girl. But here she is on fucking social media talking about $34 steaks and fries that she ordered from DoorDash and Goyard bags that she wants to buy with Akaash's money. It doesn't stop in it. He's taking a dip in earnings, but she still wants to spend. He's taking a dip in earnings, but she still wants to spend. Of course. Of fucking course. Anyway, let's hear from the fans. What are fans saying? The farewell post on the Flagrant 2 subreddit. Farewell Akaash Singh. It's official from today's episode. Akaash Singh has stepped away from the podcast to focus on his comedy. Shout out to the boy. Shout out for helping build the pod to what it is today. Making this thread as a discussion related. Someone says here, Day 1 Brilliant Idiots fan. When Andrew, Kaz and Akaash spun off and created Flagrant, man, legendary. Sad day for Flagrant. Agree with that one. Damn, end of an era. Say what you will about Justine's situation, but the pod isn't what it is today without Akaash. Agree with that. I guess he's big enough now that he doesn't need the pod for his career, but the focus on career reasoning is an obvious spin. All relevant comics today have a pod. It's easy to bag. It's an easy bag, and it gives you an avenue to come up with material. I've seen Andrew use a podcast bits on stage. Just grow your following. Neither Akaash nor Andrew's stand-up careers would be where it is without the pod. I'm not trying to pile on Justine, but it's a shame that her actions forced him to do this. Money and career aside, this podcast is as much as his creation as Andrew's, and I can't help but feel that her recent comments about the Flagrant fanbase sealed the deal for him not to return. That's true. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, innit? She said the Flagrant fanbase were racist. Or something like that, right? Crazy. Most comedians at their core are weak, insecure tryhards. Akaash seems like one of the more weak-willed of an already weak bunch. Once his wife was exposed as a do-nothing gold digger with obviously no respect for him, there was never a path back to the show. He couldn't bring himself to put on the persona he's been putting on for years because that guy was never really him. True. The veil slipped. Focusing on stand-up is a cop-out. His wife's weird need for attention is his weak spirit cost him a good, easy job. Agree with that one. More posts on here. I think Akaash sees Justine as an extension of him. That's what marriages mostly are in Indian community, but it's kind of surprising to see how differently they both are handling this. Justine keeps on posting, says she wants to be big on social media, and Akaash, exactly. Akaash is walking away in shame, and she's still out here posting as if nothing fucking happened. Honestly, bro, this lady is fucking something else. Has she got another post? Has she got a new? Is this a new one, right? This, of course, a new one. There we go. I think she deletes comments as well, but I think she definitely deletes comments too because there's not a lot of comments. But can I just say, I obviously love the yeah. I think she deletes comments because there's no way she's only got 14 comments. I think she definitely deletes comments on here, which makes sense. Definitely delete comments. Don't keep comments up if you're Justine. Don't keep the comments up if you're Justine because those comments are not going to be good. So I get why she does that. It's for the best. Peak era of the pod was previous studio where Akaash was second mic. Mark would chime in. Worst era was when a new studio where all four were on camera. Agree that one. Having that all four on camera is excessive. I don't think you need Mark. I don't think you need Alex on there. Mark maybe, but Alex doesn't need to be on there. That black guy is a bit pointless. Worst era ever. Mark basically had the same role and Alex was redundant. It works way better now. Mark is a great second mic and Alex actually has room to contribute. I disagree. I think Alex is zero contribute. The only thing Alex contributes is like his nail polish and shit. He's a bit dead, to be honest. Doesn't really have much of a personality. To be fair, I think all men that color their nails in general, if you're not specifically actually in like the hardcore scene, the metal scene and shit, you're not an actual artist. I think most of it is a front for lack of a personality. I think guys who color their nails are the same type of guys that wear dangly earrings. If you don't have a personality, you put that on, you'll automatically feel like you're something. You know, you got something to you. Like the most normie guys you know paint their nails. Which I don't think it should always be like avant-garde, edgy guys who are kind of counterculture. But the most normie fucking guys that you know who fucking pay their taxes paint their nails. That doesn't make no sense to me. But what do I know? I missed Flagrant when Kaz was still on there. Akaash leaving is like a part of Flagrant simply dying. He's a 42-year-old grown man who needs to realize with fame comes criticism and not everyone will praise you. You can't just get buttered over it. That's true, by the way. The first big scandal Akaash has been involved in and he ran away. The first big scandal he's been involved in, he ran away. Big up Gamebred. Gays. No, it doesn't matter. Gay or what, doesn't matter. Even if you're gay, you have to be a little bit on the fucking edge. You have to be out there. You can't just be some normie gay guy working in a fucking accounting firm with your nails polished. Having your nails painted should always be like a counterculture, edgy type of thing. Artist, this, that, whatever it may be. If you're just a guy giving milquetoast opinions on a podcast, paying your fucking taxes, do you know what I mean? Driving a fucking nice fancy car, having your beard trimmed perfectly, it doesn't hit the same. Nails painted should always be for the guys who are on the edge of fucking culture, on the edge of artistic expression. Doesn't matter what way you swing. But normie guys with just normie jobs, having their nails painted, get out of here. Having a successful pod is easy paycheck to maintain his lifestyle and promote shows. He must be really doing what he must be really done with the fan base. To be fair, he was always the odd man out by not vibing with popular guests and not going to events with the crew. Best of luck to him. Yeah, that's true. Maybe there's something to be said about that. Definitely, I'm a bit hurt, sad. I'm a legit day one's listener. Akaash is an integral part of the pod. Him leaving over internet controversy was not the professional legal impact on him. Bizarre, in my opinion. Flagrant fans are a big part of why this career is strong now, but it feels like he wants to turn his back on us. Exactly, yeah. It's almost like he feels. So definitely a bit hurt and sad. I'm a legit day one listener. Akaash is an integral part of the pod. I'm sorry, but did you miss the constant attacks on him and his personal life from Flagrant fans across Reddit, YouTube, and Twitter? From his perspective, why would he stay loyal to a fan base that's been bullying him and his wife behind the scenes? Meanwhile, comedy fans are showing up, literally paying to see him live. The choice seems pretty straightforward from there where he's standing. That's a good point, to be fair. That's actually a good point. That's actually a good point. That's actually a really good point. But this misses the main point. No, the reason why he was getting bullied or he was getting teased, let's say, because I don't think bullying is a big term. People throw around the term bully too much, right? If you're a fucking public figure on social media, you're going to get your turn. You're going to get your turn of being teased. You're going to get your turn of being mocked. You're going to get your turn of being a quote unquote temporary, situational fucking lolcow. It's going to happen to everybody, including me. Happens to every single person. You're going to have your time in the sun. You're going to have your time under the limelight. Now, the problem here is the reason why he was having that issue was because of his fucking wife. Nobody else. Wasn't because of anything he said. It would have been way easier to kind of handle and cope with if it was something that he said or something that he did. Nothing that Akaash did was wrong. I don't think so. He defended his wife. He went quiet. He did the whole couples podcast together. They came together on Flagrant, tried to kind of sweep it and cope and try and spin it. It didn't work. But I don't blame him for trying. That's his fucking wife. The problem here is that his wife is the main issue, not the reaction to it. I think his wife did more damage to him than the reactions. Even Myron. I think Justine did more damage than anybody else in this scenario. Even more than fucking Myron. I swear to God. Because if she didn't open her mouth, if she didn't go out of her way to share all those fucking stories or those details, if she wasn't so obsessed with being kind of famous or whatever else it may be, we wouldn't be in this position. All she had to do is play her position. Be the fucking housewife, be the fucking the bastion or the custodian of the household, be the trophy wife, play your position. Trophy wives and all that stuff, they usually don't talk that much, no? Again, I'm not really, I mean, not to get into like fucking gender roles and shit, but usually the archetypal trophy wife and whatever, or trad wife, they don't really talk too much, innit? They just kind of like live. They one of the kind of the joys of their life is that they don't have to like take part. They don't have to step up in front of the camera. They don't have to fucking work. They don't have to do, I mean, you just fucking live and exist in the background helping and making sure your husband or wherever continues to thrive so that you can continue buying Chanel bags, so you can continue buying Louis Vuitton stuff, you can continue driving a nice car. It's within your best interest, just shut the fuck up. Honestly, as a trophy wife, it's within your best interest to just shut the fuck up. Not even like in a misogynistic way. I'm never saying in like a misogynistic way, but as a trophy wife, if you want to get the most out of life, it's best for you if you shut the fuck up and just make your husband's life as easy as possible so that he can give you his card willingly with no fucking strings attached and no fucking limits. Because that's what you live for. You live to please your man to a certain extent, and you live to get your own pleasure out of life. I don't know why she thought it would be beneficial to step up and be cooler daddy. You can't be cooler daddy and be married to someone like Akaash. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? Because the cooler daddy girl, she's the alpha. Like she's like the main breadwinner. You know what I mean? In her household, I'd imagine. I don't know who her husband is, but I'd imagine cooler daddy girl probably makes more money than her husband. In that case, you can do that. And plus, that's how she came up. Cooler daddy girl came up, you know, being very explicit, being very detail oriented about her sex life and stuff. But this Justine girl, you came out of nowhere. No one knows you. Plus, Akaash talked about you in a certain way. He talked about you like you're a princess, like you were fucking innocent and sweet and naive. And all of a sudden, here you are on the pod telling us about popping your pussy and getting like trains run on you and shit. Like, god damn it, girl. God damn. Yo, what LMAO? Why did he let the internet win like this? This shit is just solidified Justine's L. Worst move in history. He was supposed to come back to the pod swinging. I think, you know what it is? The problem is that stand-up comedians are quite sensitive. Who would have guessed it, right? I guess in order to tell jokes, in order to pull jokes from a really dark place and make them funny, you kind of have to be in touch with your emotions and stuff like that, right? But I think what I've noticed in these years of doing this stream, comedians are very sensitive to like, this is coming back at them. Like even in the comments, even people joking around. Comedians don't react that well when you like leave them a little snarky comment, a little fucking sarcastic comment, a little jokey joke, a little hee hee ha ha. They don't respond too well. They wanna like tell you shit. They want you to hear their zingers, hear their punchlines, right? Hear their fucking convoluted, usually fake story. Big up fucking Bert Kreischer. They want you to buy their tickets, buy their merch, attend their shows, watch their fucking podcast, click on their fucking ads. But the moment you try and joke back at them, they don't take it too well. They don't take it too well. So I think in general, the response from Akaash was to be expected. He's a comedian. Comedians don't take jokes too well. They don't like being the butt of the jokes, which is weird because Akaash loves doing crowd work. Akaash loves doing crowd work, but if you flip the camera on him and start to do the crowd work stuff he does to other people on him, he'll fucking start crying. So if he had an ability to maybe have thicker skin and take more, I won't say take abuse, but like, you know, whatever, he'd be okay. But unfortunately, here we are. First Kaz, now Akaash. I knew it was coming, but it's sad. We'll miss him. I feel like maybe he should have just extended his break a lot more. Fuck it, take a year or two, but just come back, man. That's the thing, man. I think that was the plan. I think the plan was for him to come back, but I think the negative reaction has been so fucking bad, they couldn't. I think the plan was for him to come back, but the reaction hasn't stopped. Like, brothers, like, I'm still talking about it. I know I'm a nobody, but I'm still talking about it. I've seen Podcast Cringe made a video about it. Abba Preach made a video about it. To try. Everyone's talking about this. For some reason, this story hasn't died down. The flames are still fucking hot. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this particular story, why it touched people so much, but for some reason, this story in particular doesn't fucking die. That's why I think he had to kind of leave, because I think he wanted to come back, but because the story kept going on, and like, even Justine for a bit, she went quiet on social media. Do you remember that? Justine for a short period went quiet on social media. She stopped posting, and even that didn't help. The fucking stuff still kept going on and on and on, so I think he had no other option but to leave. I really hate Flagrant fans. Some of them straight up racist, as well as calling him Indian slurs and shit. Nah, you can't do that. You can't suddenly be fucking PC, sensitive snowflake if you're a Flagrant fan. Sorry, Flagrant fan, not flan. You can't be sensitive and a snowflake if you're a fucking Flagrant fan. The whole, it's in the fucking name. The whole premise of that show is kind of like another version of fucking Legion of Skanks, you know? That's the whole point of it. They say offensive stuff, flagrant stuff. That's the whole fucking point. You can't suddenly be sensitive of it. And Akaash loved it. Akaash loved to throw fucking racial disses and insults at the other castmates. He got them back as well. That was the whole charm of the fucking pod. They all come from different places, different backgrounds, whatever, and they can kind of take the piss out of each other. Let's not do the whole like, oh, Indians. Like, come on. So Akaash quit the pod, but Justine still has a podcast. No, she doesn't. She does not. From the last time I remember, again, I know too much about this, Justine went on that podcast with that really weird, creepy, corny guy that was like, yeah, let's break the internet. That kind of dork guy. She went on that podcast with that other Asian dude, and she said on that podcast that her and her friend actually fell out. That girl that Justine was talking to on her pod, the co-host, they fell out behind the scenes. And I think she made it seem like they fell out because of all the negative reaction that Justine was getting. It was also bringing negative reaction to that woman and her family and her husband. So she couldn't handle the heat. She couldn't handle all that negative attention. So she went to step away, and the podcast ended. And I think Justine made it seem like she took it as an offense. I think she took it as an offense that that girl kind of quit the pod because it's like she didn't stand by her. It's like, blood, like you're the one that got you, the whole pod in trouble by fucking opening your mouth and talking about you wanting to do fucking, foursomes or whatever it is. Come on, man. I'm interested to see if Akaash is able to make a solely a stand-up comedian and blow up, or did the pod really save his career? Personally, I think it will hurt him. I think Akaash is doing the thing that some of us creators, some of us whatever people do sometimes. When things are going well, you think that's going to be how it is for a long time. That's not the case. If anything, when things are going well, you should double and triple and quadruple down on what's going well. You should actually work harder just to make sure you can extend that little fucking honeymoon period, that little time in the sun that you're having. Because Akaash is definitely having a really nice time. A really fucking, you know what I mean? The stars are shining, everything's aligned, all the stars are aligning for him, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean because he's selling out shows now, he'll be selling them out in the future just because he's doing stand-up. And that's where the podcast helps. The podcast helps to keep you somewhat, I can't say relevant, but helps to kind of market you, promote you, keep you in a conversation, blah, 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 attract new fans, etc., etc., etc. Plus, in general, Akaash has a lot of interesting, has things to say about like cultural topics. Why not be involved in the conversation? Why not be involved in it? So he's really kind of like spying himself, to be honest. So it's a really big gamble because there's not a lot of comedians out there that can do the whole stand-up thing, and the ones that can have been in the game for a while. But to be fair to Akaash, he is also one of those kind of, not to be offensive to him, but he's also a bit of a hack in it. He's also a bit of a racial hack. I'm thinking in my head now, all the guys who do well, who are like only focused on stand-up and don't have podcasts, most of them are like racial hacks, isn't it? I think of Joe Coy. I think of Fluffy. I think of who else? There's quite a lot of those kind of that racial hacky, like even fucking Matt Rife. I like Matt Rife, but he's kind of hacky too. So maybe it works. Maybe that kind of hacky comedy is sort of like the comedy that the most general public would be into, right? Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, whatever, Jewish, fucking Christian, you can go to an Akaash show. And Akaash show is pretty non-offensive. You know what I mean? It can appeal to everybody. So maybe he's got a point of what he's doing. Maybe he'll be okay because he does that kind of racial type of comedy, and people, his people especially from India, Pakistan, whatever, they're always gonna fucking back him, right? Just regardless, he's always gonna be back regardless because of where he's from. So if he keeps on going, he'll be fine. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll work out. Is anyone else surprised he didn't at least come back for a final episode? I'm confused. It's because of online drama. Yes, it is. After ridiculing people for their relationship, acting like he's holier than thou, put this up on a pedestal, he's getting everything he deserves. Pissed on. I wouldn't go that far. Again, I wouldn't go that far. I don't think he deserves to be pissed on. I don't think he deserves to get rest in piss. I think that was solely his wife's fault. His wife fucked up his situation. And yeah, I don't think there's nothing he could have done different that would have changed the reaction. There's nothing Akaash could have done. Even divorcing her wouldn't have worked. Because if you divorce her, then what? You know? If you divorce her, then you let the internet win. You let the internet dictate who you're with and who you're not with. Plus, what are your fucking vows about through fucking, you know what I mean? What's something for rich and poor, through whatever. You know what I mean? You have vows, obviously. You want to make it work. Who wants to get married twice? Who wants to get married 3 times? No one. So I kind of salute him for staying with her and kind of like not fucking jumping ship. But I don't think he deserves that sort of comment. That's a bit extra. That's a bit too much. That's a little bit too much vim, I think. That's a bit too much vim. You can laugh at him, fair enough. But saying piss on him is it's a bit much. It's a bit much. It's a bit fucking much. What else is going on? The boys were right again. Disney cruise ship staff telling the rest of child porn. I sent Akaash a DM. Really? I sent Akaash a DM. Hey, brother, we'll miss you on Flagrant. Hope you come back. It won't be the same. Hope you do your own podcast. Much love. He said, appreciate it, my man. Okay, cool. That's nice. So he's in decent spirits at least. He's replying back to fucking DMs and shit. That's nice to see. This is controversy backlash used to be handled.
Episode, but my Instagram post.
Oh yeah,
Of course. And anybody who commented on the Kanye thing because they were upset, I just want to let you know that I was wrong for not telling your mother to suck my dick from the back.
Fucking go.
I'm not telling your mother. No. Your mother.
Yes.
Your mother.
You think I'm
Okay.
talking.
No, I mean this. All you fucking Monster Energy gym bros. Your mother and her rickety varicose vein knees. I want her on her knees.
Again, I think this is easy to say when it's not your wife, because we've seen this is an okay reaction to have when it's not affecting your significant half, your literal family, right? Because when you have a wife, even without kids, you're a family. That's your fucking person. That's your Cody. That's your ride or die. If she's getting all this, even if she deserves it, like Justine definitely deserved all the pelters, she deserved all the hate, she deserved all the fucking name calling, all the video essays, she deserved it. But to Akaash, that's his fucking wife. So coming back on the pod and saying, suck my dick, I don't care, you guys can't do it. You can't do that when it's your wife. It's going to affect you too much. And I think Schultz too. We've seen how Schultz reacted when some of the fucking fans started to troll him a little bit about his wife and her looks. Not sure if you guys remember, but there was a period, I don't know why they did it, but there was a period where some people started to troll Schultz about his wife and what she looks like and da-da-da-da-da. And he didn't handle it too well either. He got a little bit tetchy and a bit like, which is understandable again, because it's a fucking wife. So I think this sort of reaction can only happen when it's something that doesn't affect your actual, like, immediate family. So what? It's some like Kanye West BLM thing. Okay, cool, whatever. People are hating on you for your opinion, no worries. But when people start insulting your wife, calling her a fucking whore, calling her a gold digger, calling her all manner of names, yeah, you can't come back on the pod. You're not gonna feel comfortable. You won't feel comfortable.
Sucking my dick from the back where her nose is in my asshole.
Let's go.
Then I don't shave.
You said you weren't going to do this.
Anyway, any listeners here that are upset at us, we just want to let you know that you're going to stay upset. Okay? What we're not going to do is sit here with our dicks tucked between our legs, apologizing on the podcast for jokes. Okay? Matter of fact, we have a new apology.
Again, you can't do this with Justine thing because it wasn't a joke. I know she tried to spin it as a joke, but it wasn't. You can't do this type of approach with the Justine thing because it wasn't a joke. She actually meant what she said. She meant what she fucking said.
Video that we should definitely watch. The Shits and Gigs gentlemen came on the podcast.
I love them. I love them. I feel bad they're going through this.
Yeah, but actually I do want to take it seriously because they are serious guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They must feel really good too now, innit? They must feel really fucking good. The Shits and Gigs guys. Because they got a lot of shit from them. The Shits and Giggles guys must be fucking laughing. Myron must be fucking laughing. Interesting, innit? Yeah, I remember that. I remember that whole drama. They had a lot to say about the Shits and Giggles guys. They had a lot to say. Now it's like, oh, Akaash is leaving. They're doing a fucking memoriam. They're doing a fucking in memoriam for fucking Akaash when he's fucking alive. Because his wife embarrassed him on the fucking podcast. So he doesn't man enough to come on and just fucking write it.
And I want it. I'll stop fucking laughing, dude. They're defending their community. They came on the podcast. They got a lot of flack for laughing at a joke. And I would just want to hear their apology. These are serious fucking guys. And this is a serious apology. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him, and there's nothing he could do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him.
Again, Kendrick is also smiling. Wherever Kendrick is, he's also smiling. That fucking sinister, villainy kind of smile that Kendrick does. Wherever Kendrick is right now, he's also smiling.
And the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick,
Yo, big up My Nuts, I agree with you. Big up I Am My Nuts, I agree with you. Big up My Nuts, I agree with you. Get those likes in. Get those likes in. Every like contributes towards a Tesla Juniper. Every like contributes to my Tesla Model Y Juniper. Every single one.
No, this is about physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, there's a chance that if we're in a cell and we're bored and we done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well fuck you. There's nothing he could physically do to stop that besides put his leg.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's how they were. That's how they were. That's how they were. But unfortunately, it's not like that anymore, is it? R.I.P. Akaash, you know. Look, they said R.I.P. R.I.P. What are they saying here? R.I.P. So all the guys asking what happened. I think that clip of Schultz and Charlotte saying keep your wife off the internet hit a little too close to home. I'd also explain why Akaash didn't go on Breakfast Club to promote his special, despite him being friends with Charlemagne. Oh, that's actually a good point. That's actually a fucking good point, isn't it? What's it? Charlemagne, the God, keep your wife off podcast, right? What's that clip? Where him and fucking Schultz are talking about that. That's actually a really fucking good point. That's actually a really good point. Let's see if I can find this clip somewhere. Let's say wife off. Let's see how that works. There you go.
Hey, Mercy _ says, what is the gayest thing you thought about?
I don't want to hear that one. Let's see Charlemagne. Let's see Charlemagne Akaash. Maybe someone has it there. But nah. Yeah, there you go. That's the one, isn't it? That's the one.
Akash's wife made you want to not be married? What happened, bro? You want to be...
Yo, when you locking it down, yo? When you locking it down?
What happened,
And I'm never going to tell the world. I ain't going through that shit. That shit is crazy.
What happened?
I didn't realize we had Akash's picture up.
I don't like what they've been doing to Akaash the past few weeks, man.
Yo, free Akaash,
I ain't
man.
seen the
free Akaash. Free Akaash.
I haven't seen the new episode of Flagrant, man. Did it go well?
You gotta watch it, man. We had him and Justine. Well, am I ruining it? Everybody already knows by now. Yeah, just watch it.
I just don't like it because it's such a sensitive subject. That's his wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They public.
Well, can I say what I want to say?
Of course. This is what Brilliant Idiots is about.
All I want to say is simply this.
Keep your wife off the internet.
Motherfucking internet. Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to start a motherfucking podcast, bro.
Yes.
Okay? There can be one entertainer in this family, and it shall be me. I'm the comedian. I'm out here on this road, and I'm out here getting the money. Let me use some of this money to help.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it's only one person that can be a comedian, one person that can have a podcast. Just don't be on there saying madness. The main problem was that she put the opposite. She was saying the opposite thing. For instance, if your husband's a fucking born again Christian and you have a podcast where you're talking about how much you love being a Muslim, it's not gonna work. You're gonna get your husband in trouble. You're gonna fuck up the fucking money. Yeah, you're gonna fuck up the fucking money. You're gonna fuck up the fucking money. If your husband is out here and his fucking angle is that he's this frugal god, he's a frugal influencer, and you're on Instagram fucking showing off all the material things that you're buying, hoarding and stuff, all the luxury goods that you buy, right? Then it's not going to work. She was just doing the opposite of him. He was out here talking about how he got his girl, how she was a virgin, how he kept himself a virgin, how that's the right way to go, blah, blah, blah. And then she comes out and completely flips all that shit on the head and just says, nah, I was out here doing my thing. I was shaking ass. I was bouncing on shit. I was jumping on shit. I had a queue around the block. Like, that ain't gonna work, is it? That ain't gonna work. That's the only problem. If she had a podcast where she just spoke about makeup, or she spoke about shopping and like brands and stuff, and how it is being a brown girl in New York, all that sort of shit, it would have been fine. It would have been perfectly fine if she just did that angle. Brown girl in New York, mid-30s, first marriage, trying to figure it out, come with me on my journey. Cool. But when she started doing fucking her version of Call Her Daddy, that ain't gonna work, bro.
Hope you do some other things, yo. Cause you don't need a microphone in your face cause you gonna fuck around and ruin us. All right. Not just you, us.
But go watch the episode.
Yes.
We had a great talk with Akaash and Justine, and it was awesome. And
so yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe that person's right. Maybe Akaash didn't take this too well. I don't think Charlamagne said anything wrong. I don't think Charlamagne said anything offensive or anything wrong. And I think if Akaash wanted to, given his friendship with Andrew Schultz, if he wanted to go to Breakfast Club and promote his special or promote his show at Radio City Music Hall and just say, hey, can we just not talk about my wife? I think he would have agreed. I think given Charlamagne's relationship with Schultz and their friendship over the years, I think if Akaash said, hey, just my wife is off limits and still would have went on Breakfast Club, I think he would have been fine. It would have been bad look. I think just an answer anyway. But I think it would have been perfectly fucking fine if he did that. So yeah, maybe that person has a point. Who knows? Who fucking knows?